of the Lord went down at certain seasons into the pool and stirred the water. Whoever stepped in first after the stirring of the water was healed, and whatever disease he had. One man was there who had been an invalid for 38 years.
All right.
When Jesus saw him lying there and knew that he already been there a long time, he said to him, "Do you want to be healed?" The sick man answered him, "Sir, I have no man to put me in the pool when the water is stirred up. And while I'm coming, another steps down before me." Jesus said to him, "Get up, take up your bed and walk." And at once the man was healed and took up his bed and walked. Now that was the Sabbath. Verse 10. So the Jews said to the man who had been healed, "It is the Sabbath, and it is not lawful for you to take up your bed."
All right.
My subject is, what is your excuse for not being blessed?
All right.
Everybody say it with me. What's your excuse
What is your excuse
for not being blessed?
for not being blessed?
Thank the Lord for the reading of his word. Why is it that whenever we haven't received God's blessings or healing, it's always someone else's fault? We are quick to lay the blame on someone else
Yeah.
and almost never say it's our own fault.
All right.
Jesus asked the paralyzed man, did he want to be healed?
Mm-hmm.
And instead of saying yes, he gave an excuse. In verse 7, the sick man answered him and said, "I have no man to put me in the pool
Uh-huh.
when the water is stirred up.
Well,
But while I'm coming, another steps down before me." Excuses. The meaning of this word is an expression or regret for failure to do something. The meaning of this word is an expression or regret for failure to do something. It is time for the excuse. It is time out for the excuses
yeah, yeah.
and time to make solutions. What's the solution, brother preacher? Well, I'm mighty glad that you asked. A solution is the method of solving a problem
Yeah.
or the correct answer to a puzzle, problem, or difficult situation.
Talk, sir. Talk, sir.
The truth of the matter is, there is never a good excuse in God's eyes.
All right. All right.
God told Jonah to go to Nineveh, and he ran from God
Yes, he did.
and ended up in the belly of a fish. The prophet told the widow to make him a cake first. The widow said she didn't have enough. She was going to make the cake for her and her son, and die. God told Moses to tell Pharaoh to let God's people go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Moses said, "My speech is not good."
Come on.
It's time out for excuses. And it's time out for excuses. And it's time for solutions.
All right.
If I was the paralyzed man, I would have rolled over to the pool. Amen. If I was a paralyzed man, I would have rolled over to the pool and waited for the stirring of the water and fell in the water. Amen. If I was a blind man, I would have felt my way over to the pool
All right.
until the stirring of the water. If I was a lame man, I would have drugged myself over to the pool and waited for the stirring of the water and threw myself in. If I was a sick man,
All right.
no matter how I felt, I would have put myself in the position to be put into that water.
Talk, sir. Talk, sir.
No, come on, please.
Yeah.
What's your excuse for not being blessed? Well, brother preacher, what's the solution? I'm mighty glad you asked. I believe I'll call a few witnesses.
All right.
Ephesians 3:20 says, Now to him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above
All right.
that we could ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us.
Uh-huh.
I believe I'll call another witness. I think I'll call brother Jeremiah.
All right. All right.
Jeremiah 29 and 11 says, "For I know the plans that I have for you,
Mm-hmm.
All right.
declares the Lord.
All right.
Plans to prosper you
Uh-huh.
and not harm you.
All right.
Plans to give you hope
Yeah.
and an expected end."
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I believe I'll call one more witness. Matthew 6:33 says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness,
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
and all these things shall be added unto you.
Yes, sir.
I'm about to take my seat right now, but I just want to let you all know that back in the day, the saints did not have excuses.
Right.
I grew up in a church where there were a lot of sick people, people on canes, people on crutches, people that had high blood pressure, people that had cancer.
Yes, sir.
And when people got sick, they came to the church to get help.
Yeah.
All the time. No matter what was going on in their lives. They never let whatever was going on with them stop them from coming to church.
Yeah.
And man, I thank the Lord for when I was 18 years old, I was diagnosed with a heart murmur. I had bleeding in my chest and my heart, and seemed like things would slow down on me. And I was like, what is that? It was like that irregular heartbeat.
Right.
What made me feel like I was like, what is that? I would feel it on the basketball court. I'd feel it when I was playing. I came to the church and told my uncle, because I was playing the organ, I felt it on the organ. He prayed for me right there while I was playing. 2 weeks later, I went back to the doctor. It was gone. They couldn't find it. Amen. I seen blinded eyes open. Amen. I've seen crutches. People get off crutches that were walking on crutches. They say people had short legs that made them have a limp. I've seen that. I was sitting in a pew and not even really able to understand what was going on. But they put those kids, they put the kids in the youth in the fire of whatever was going on in the church.
Yes,
And
sir.
man, we didn't have a choice to stay home or go to church or go to Sunday school.
All right.
You was going to Sunday school, whether you went willfully
right.
or you got drugged there. Amen. But many times I've seen kids sitting in church that was upset because mama brought them, but guess what? They're not in jail.
Right.
One more point I had. The saints of God always came to church, and a lot of us didn't have good cars to drive. We didn't have good, we didn't live in the finest homes. We lived in the hood. But as I grew up, I seen God bless people that didn't have as much as they had when they were younger. As they got older, people that was driving station wagons started driving Mercedes-Benz and driving BMWs. We today drive Mercedes-Benz and BMWs, and we still have excuses why we can't come to church. We got a brand
All
new
right
car
now.
sitting in the driveway, and we let COVID-19 keep us at home. I just thank the Lord for this time, and I want y'all to bless. I want y'all to pray for me as I grow stronger in the Lord. I thank God for giving me this time. I'm not always the preacher that jumps and screams and holler. I feel it.
You said a word.
But God always tells me to tell my word first. And if it's gonna come at the end, it'll come at the end. But if it's not coming at the end, get your word out. Say what it is that you need to say.